quite surprising what you can find if you keep your eyes open. And I'm just taking a walk this morning using the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, and I'm just off Greenbank Lane in Liverpool, and behind the fence, behind this communal waste bin area, what have I found? An old World War II air raid shelter. Admittedly it's all above ground, but interestingly it's been coated in concrete. There's very little on the outside to indicate why it's been covered in concrete. It obviously had doors at one stage. You can see the remains of the hinges there, and if we look inside you can see it is of ribbed construction. So possibly an original Anderson type shelter, which has then been covered in concrete, encased in it. Now it's just a home for wildlife, I guess. Interesting little discovery though. Well, here we are in Greenbank Park, which is one of Liverpool's lesser known public spaces. It's about a mile away from my house, and it is a popular enough spot. There is a children's play area and a cafe, and of course in midsummer it looks rather attractive, doesn't it? And it's just over the road from Greenbank House, where we have just been. So I'm going to sit down and tell you a little bit about my thoughts on the Osmo Pocket 3 and a little bit of the background history of Greenbank House. Well, I'm a little bit disappointed because I've been unable to gain access to Rathbone House, which is the name of the old house across the road on Greenbank Lane. It's an early 18th century property, much altered in the 19th, and occupied throughout really by a very well-known Liverpool family, the Rathbones. And when the last of the Rathbones sadly passed away, I think probably in the 1920s if I'm correct, it was left to Liverpool University, specifically to build student accommodation on, and that is exactly what it is nowadays. Very modern student accommodation, beautiful grounds, as I hope I've been able to get across to you with a little bit of video. A really interesting property. I believe when it was modified in the 19th century, the style is referred to as Strawberry Hill Gothic. Now, as I record this, I have no idea what that means. I will look it up and put a note down here for you. But the main reason that I've come out today, apart from wanting to give you a quick view of Greenbank House and the story of the Rathbones, is to give you my appraisal on the Pocket 3. I've had it for 3 days now, and I bought it used but mint. Everything was still in its polythene bags. And I got the creator kit, the creator combo I think they call it. So I have the wireless microphone, as you can see, the extension battery grip, the little mini tripod base, and you know, the usual USB leads, etc, etc. Now, I have used it yesterday. I went down to the Albert Dock, specifically with the idea of doing some filming and, more importantly, some stills. I'm quite interested to see what the performance is like when you shoot stills with this. Now, they're nowhere near the quality you can get with a dedicated camera. That's point number one. But point number two, if you're caught out with just an Osmo Pocket, or God forbid something goes wrong with your main camera, or you run out of battery power, or whatever it might be, you have at least got a standby. And I think when you look at them, you'll be pleasantly surprised. I know I was. Downsides, well, as is typical when you're out in bright sunny weather, seeing the image on the screen is very difficult. It's a tiny wee screen, and also at the moment what I've noticed, particularly when I was down at the Albert Dock, is how quickly it smears. You do have to swipe it up, down, left, right quite a lot to access different features, and every time you do that, at the moment, as I say, it does seem to smear quite badly, which makes it even harder to see the screen in bright sunlight. Now, I have got a protective glass cover on order, one of these Gorilla Glass pieces, which may alter that, might cure it, I don't know. We will see. That's a small little niggle. What else? It was very easy for me to record everything using the internal mic on the Pocket 3 rather than the wireless mic. User error, nothing wrong with the equipment. And because of what I've also understood is the fact that it's now shooting in what they call normal color mode, which is pretty similar to what I was getting out of the GoPro, to be perfectly honest with you, but I think better quality. You can also shoot in D-Log-M, but from what I can gather, D-Log-M is not the same as D-Log. So if you do want to do your own grading for any particular reason, I don't, then D-Log-M is not the best to choose. There is another setting as well which I haven't looked into, but it gives very, very flat results. Nothing like what you would expect straight out of the camera. I've also ordered from my friends at K&F Concept a set of 3 of their magnetic filters for the Osmo, and I've opted for the circular polarizer, black mist, and a variable neutral density filter, which I think goes from 1 stop to 4 stops. Hasn't arrived yet, but I think that's going to be pretty handy. Quite how fiddly the filters are going to be, I don't know, and what sort of case they come in, if any, I don't know. Of course, the Creator Kit comes with the wide angle attachment for the lens, which lives normally in its hard case. Let me dig out the hard case. So that's the hard case for the camera, and you can probably see up here that I have the wide angle filter. It's magnetic, and there's a magnetic plate in the top of the grip which holds it in place rather nicely. There's also one here for the black mist filter. So what I will probably do is use certainly the polarizer and probably black mist, and leave them in here, and keep the variable ND somewhere else in amongst my gear. You can get different cases for it, but to my way of thinking, this is fine. I've got no real urgent need to change it. The results, well, from what I can see so far, I do like the image quality. I love the way that the background is blurring behind me. Maybe not too much, because I'm about 2 or 3 feet away from the lens at the moment. But we will, see as time goes by. I'm very happy with it so far. So I just wanted to give you first reactions to it, really. It's by no means a review. I am going to keep using the extending selfie stick, which I've had for ages for the GoPro, because the little tripod stand that this comes with is only a couple of inches high, and there are occasions when I need to really extend the camera higher than that to save you guys looking up my nose all the time. Face tracking is an absolute boon. Love it, because as I move, of course, the camera will follow me. So if I keel over suddenly, you'd be able to see me on the floor. Shouldn't say things like that, really, should I? So first reaction is very positive. It's easy to use straight out of the box. I'm sure that as time goes by, I will become more accustomed to its idiosyncrasies, if you like. One thing I do need to change, and I know I can change it in the settings, is the speed of the joystick. At the moment, if I tilt it up, down, left or right, it moves far too quickly. So that needs to be adjusted. What else do I need to do? At the moment we're shooting in 4K 30, which I think is perfectly adequate for my needs. I'm by no means very creative with my videography. I simply use it to tell the story of where I'm going and what I'm doing. It will shoot 4K 60 if needs be, and it will go faster than that, but not in 4K. And I really don't think I'm going to be using that facility at all. There is the option of complete manual control, and also I have downloaded, it took me a while to do it, but I downloaded the Mimo app from DJI, which expands the amount of changes that you can make. Some of the changes you can make using the Mimo app are not available on the actual camera itself. The trouble is, DJI make it flipping impossible, almost, to download the app in the first place. It's no longer available for Android off the Play Store. You have to download it off the internet, and even that's not very straightforward. But it's on the phone now, so who knows? I might be making more use of that. It's Bluetooth connected, of course, and as I say, it does give access to more options when it comes to exposure and things like beauty filters and stuff like that. Do you think I need beauty filters? I shouldn't ask such a silly question. So there we are. I know it's a short video. It's my first impressions of the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. Hope you enjoy it, and hopefully later on this year, probably when the students are back at university, I'll be able to get access to Greenbank House and give you some better images of the place, because it's a really attractive looking house. Anyway, cut the waffle. Have a great time, everybody. Look after yourselves. Enjoy your photography. See you all very soon. Bye for now.